Welcome to 2J-Z, my YouTube channel. This is a channel dedicated to this car right here. My name is Jacob, and I will be walking you guys through my entire process, start to finish, of building this car. A little backstory, I've been a car enthusiast probably since my sophomore or junior year of high school. I'm now 26. This car's gone through many revisions and changes and things like that, ranging from a stock L24 with triple Webers to a L28 with triple Webers, and then an L28 ET with a turbo, of course, and probably making like 280 horsepower. So this car has a special place to me. We've owned the car since like 1996, I believe it was. My dad purchased it from a family friend. He did some computer work for him, I believe, and traded the car and some cash in return. And turns out when I was a junior or sophomore in high school, he talked about selling it, and it was just kind of in the way. My dad wasn't really interested in working on the car anymore, and sure enough, I've always been interested in the car. And my dad looked at me and he said, okay, well, you know what, I got this antenna I've been meaning to put in for years, because these cars come with a little automated antenna. You push a button. He said, why don't you go out, put this in, and let's go from there. And sure enough, the rest is history. We just started working together on the car. It kind of became a bonding experience with my dad and I, and since then I've just kind of taken it off on my own, and it's been fun. The latest story on the car is that it's sitting without a motor. As you can see, I sold the L28 ET that was in it. The motor's just old. There's no aftermarket. Transmission options aren't there. I want more power. A little about me, I actually am the senior video editor for 1320 Video. I see everything from a 300 horsepower Honda to a 2500 horsepower UGR Lambo. I've lately had this itch to just make more power, more or less, and just have a fun street car that I can take to the drag strip and just, rip on the highway. This is gonna be a 100% garage built, budget built street car. A little bit about the plans for the car. Obviously, we're going with a Toyota 2J-Z engine platform. The reason for that is affordability, strength, keeping it true to the inline six power. The motor is actually a NA version of the 2J-Z. These motors are notoriously weak. I think they're only good for about 400 horsepower, if that, in their stock form. It's a variable valve timing version out of a 2001, I believe it's a IS 300. It was either pick up a super 2JZ, you spend up to what, $2,000-$3,000 for the whole kit. I mean, that's a 6-speed and all. Or you start with the same block, weak internals, and you build it up how you want, and you pick your turbo, pick your manifold and all that, probably for about the same or less money, and you get more power. That's my theory anyway. As far as transmission options, I've decided to go with a 350Z CD009. This transmission's good for up to 1,000 horsepower on drag setups, supposedly. These transmissions are super cheap as well. I picked mine up for $600 locally, about 15 miles away. For the weight of the car, I'm guessing it's going to be around 2,400 to 2,600 pounds with me in it. I mean, I just don't see myself breaking the transmission. As far as the drivetrain, rear end and all that, I'm going with a R230 in the rear out of a 300ZX twin turbo. I know I'm not going to break one of those. I've only heard of maybe 1 or 2 cars ever breaking those things, but basically everything throughout the drivetrain, I want to be built to withstand 1,000 horsepower, even though I might not see that maybe someday, years down the road. But where we're starting, we're probably going to start somewhere around 500-600 horsepower. If you do the math, 500 to 600 horsepower in a 2,600 pound car, I mean, that's pretty fast. It's faster than anything I've ever owned. So I guess what inspired me to do this is that I actually built up a 510. I bought it. It had a small block V8 in it. And, I documented that project from start to finish with photos, a lot of photos, and people just ate it up. I just posted them on my personal Facebook page. There seemed to be a lot of interest in that. And I thought it was cool too, personally, that I could look back and see, where we started and where we ended and how we did things. So I thought I'd go a little different this route and actually do a video series rather than just photos. I'd probably end up doing both. This will be very comprehensive, and I'm no professional. This is all just trial and error. I learn as I go. I mean, you'll see probably some mistakes and silly things I do, and feel free to critique me, because I'm opening myself up to it. So there's something about building a car that I just I just have fun with, working with my hands. I'm very creative. There's something I just enjoy, fixing things or building things. With that being said, I just wanted to give a little bit of background on why I'm doing this, who I am. I look forward to sharing my experience with this car step by step. So if you're interested in car builds, mighty car mods, things like that, I'd suggest you subscribe and, check it out. These cars are really cool. I think they're becoming a lot more popular and people really appreciate them, the ones that know what it is. So I look forward to the journey, and who knows where this will end up. And like I said, I'm starting at 600 horsepower is my goal, and we'll go from there. Thanks.